finally back to actually like consistently riding. The weather is freaking incredible here in Florida. It's like, you know, 70 degrees even. Beautiful. But yeah, it's nice out today. I really just wanted to hop on the bike and kind of just yap for a little bit. I have a plan on where I want to go, somewhere pretty cool. I enjoy watching people yap while riding, so I kind of figured, why not? I got stuff I could yap about. So I got arrested. And it probably not for the reason you think it was for. It wasn't even on the bike, actually. It did kind of have something to do with something that happened while I was on the bike. But sort of not. But I'll start from the beginning. So pretty shortly after I bought this bike, I went to a Cars and Coffee in Orange County, Orlando. Me and a couple of my friends went out there. It's usually a pretty good show out. Supercars, fucking Lamborghinis, you know, everything, McLaren, whatever you think of it, everything's there. It's a really cool show. And being that it's a pretty cool car show, when you leave the show, right, there's always people on the corner of the road with cameras recording, you know, telling people, you know, rev it, do a burnout, do stupid shit, whatever, and people try to drift out of the road. It always happens. It's inevitable. There's like 100 plus people out there with cameras. So my buddy Jarrett in his Audi in front of me, you know, he revs his car a little bit. He's got a pop doing, makes some loud pops. I rev my bike like once, and then he pulls out and he mats it, like absolutely floors it. So I pull out and I kind of roll into it. I think I go through like 2 gears. And I have a video of this, not on the GoPro, but from one of the cameras on the side of the road. You can see how the road kind of goes up and curves to the left, and right past where the camera can't see anymore, there was 2 cop cars sitting in the left lane, just completely blocking the left lane. And there was a cop on the right side of the road in the grass, like hiding behind a fucking tree. And that cop was using a speed gun and clocked Jarrett in front of me. He clocked his speed at whatever it was, I don't remember, so I'm not going to say a random number. But he clocked Jarrett's speed, and obviously I was behind him, and my bike is unbelievably loud for no reason. The cop steps out in the middle of the road, like right in the middle of the lane, after he just clocks Jarrett doing like 70 or something like that. I don't actually know what it was, but it was fast. He steps out in the middle of the road in front of a speeding car. Jarrett obviously slams on his brake and stops the car. I'm behind him, so I slam on my brakes. You can see us, like, stopping in this video. The cop pulls me and Jarrett both over. He forces me to give him my license before he doesn't even let me move out of the way. He just he makes me give him my ID, which obviously he doesn't want me to run. But this cop was a piece of work, is what I'll say. So he made us stop. He gave Jarrett like 2 tickets. He gave me a ticket. He gave me 3 tickets. He gave me 1 for speeding, which is bullshit. I was not speeding. He did not clock my speed. He wrote the same speed that he gave to Jarrett. He wrote the same speed on my ticket, even though he did not clock my speed. So he just blatantly lies, gives me a ticket for that. He then, while he's talking to me on my bike, he starts yelling at me about street racing, like me and Jarrett were street racing. Bullshit. He then comes to my plate and starts yelling at me about my plate being bent, which it's not. It's, you know, behind the wheel. I have a tail tidy. It's not bent. It's perfectly visible. You can see it in the video. Perfectly visible. That's a $1,200 ticket, by the way, for that plate. Ridiculous. And then the one thing he did get me on that is actually kind of fair is I did not have a motorcycle endorsement, which is kind of where the problem, you know, resides, right? So that's where he got me. I did not have a motorcycle endorsement. Totally fair. I understand that. That is against the law. I take that one, sure. I then contacted Ticket Clinic, which has handled the other like 3 tickets that I've had before, right? So I contacted them and they were going to handle it. They usually contact them, you pay them however much the fee is, whatever they want. And then they do everything. And then in, a couple months, they send you an email and it's like, congratulations, your case has been dropped. Whatever. That's how it is for everybody else. That's how it was for me for the other, whatever speeding things I've had before in my car, whatever. It's usually very, very simple and straightforward. So I was like, I'm just going to do that again. A couple of weeks go by after that, and I'm like, well, the lawyer for the ticket clinic emailed me, and he was like, if you haven't already, you need to go get your motorcycle endorsement because they're not going to drop this ticket unless you show that, you took initiative and you're like, okay, I understand, I will fix this. So in the beginning of August, I went and did the motorcycle endorsement. Me being the insane procrastinator that I am, I did not go to the DMV to update my license because I just didn't want to do DMV shit. And then eventually I forgot about it. A couple weeks went by, I forgot about it. And then nothing happened for several months. And then December 25 comes around. Fast forward, whenever this happened, it's sometime December. It was on a Saturday. I am going to the store. I needed to go get something, and I live right on the corner of a Publix and a Walmart. So I could walk there if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna fucking do that. So I put on my fucking sandals, my Nike slides, and a hoodie with no t-shirt. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to the grocery store real quick and grab this. I drive out of the grocery store, there's one red light between me and the grocery store. I stop at the red light, and I look in the rearview mirror, and a cop speeds up behind me, and he's like inside me, like I can't even see the top of his bumper, and he's in a Chevy Suburban, and I'm driving a Miata. He is on me, and I'm at the red light, and then the light turns green, I roll forward, I get through the intersection, whoop, turns on his lights. So I'm like, well, this is awesome, and at this point I had literally no idea what was going on. I did not know why he pulled me over. I was not speeding. Like I said, I'm literally just going to the grocery store right now. I don't even think I had enough time on the road to be speeding. So he pulls me over, and I literally pull into the parking lot of the Walmart where I was trying to go. He pulls me over. I give him my light, or actually, I had forgot my wallet, so I didn't have my driver's license on me. But he asked me for my driver's license, and I'm like, yeah, here you go. Or I'm like, oh, I don't have it. He asked me for my registration. I give it to him, and he walks away, and then he's gone for a minute, like 15 minutes pass. Two other cops show up. They go over to his car. I see him step out of his car with blue rubber gloves on, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then they start cleaning out his backseat, like moving shit from his backseat to his trunk, and I'm like, what the hell is happening right now? They all come walking towards me, and the guy who pulls me over is like an old Dominican guy. He starts like yelling at me pretty aggressively, like, get the fuck out of the vehicle right now. I need you to get out of the car, or whatever. Like, I'm like cussed immediately, and I sat there very politely, and I was like, I said like, can I ask why? What's going on? And he was just like, just get the fuck out of the car. Like at this point, he's like this, and he's like, just get the fuck out of the car. And I was like, oh, okay. And I got out of the car completely cooperatively, like I was not, I was cooperating, totally fine. And after I get in the car, I ask again. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? So I've never been arrested before. I've gotten like one speeding ticket in my life. I don't know what was happening. He doesn't answer the question. He tells me, face your vehicle, put your hands behind your back. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. So I do. And then he grabs the back of my neck and shoves me like super hard towards the car. Like shoves my head on my chest, hits the roof of my car, and he like shoves my head towards the roof. He then grabs my wrists and yanks them back super hard. So he just pushes me forward just to yank me right back. It was absurd, right? And I'm like, what the hell is happening right now? I definitely am supposed to be over there, but there's a cop right there, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Well, I didn't say anything at this point, but I was so confused. I was like, what is happening? So he does that. He puts me in handcuffs, mad tight, by the way. Like I had like cuts on my wrist from how tight they were. But I did not say a word. I did not complain. I did not argue. I literally was dead silent this whole time. He then, you know, grabs me by the handcuffs and drags me, as the handcuffs are already way too tight. He's dragging me by the handcuffs. He pushes me next to his car. Oh, he checks me. He makes me take my sandals off and like rubs the bottom of my feet, which made me super weird. That happened to me like 4 times during this whole process. I don't know what the hell they thought I'd stick in the bottom of my feet, but they like rubbed the bottom of my feet. It was very weird. And I asked him again. I was like, what's happening? What's going on? After they like pushed me into the car. And one of the other cops at this time does finally respond to me. And he said, you have a warrant out for your arrest. And I was like, what for? Why? I don't know why this would be happening. And he was like, he goes, honestly, at this point, we're not really sure. It's something out of Orange County. And I was like, what do you mean? I handled everything. Like, there shouldn't be a problem. And he's like, I'm sorry, I don't really know. And then he also said something about I had a suspended license. And I was like, why? Why do I have a suspended license? He just said something about the Orange County thing again. And I was like, I don't understand. I don't follow. Like, what's going on? Why do I have a suspended license? Why am I being arrested right now? I didn't understand. And the one cop was being kind of nice and he was trying to help me out, but he legitimately knew nothing. Like, it's okay. He didn't know anything. The other cop was just being a piece of shit. It's just simple as that. So they put me in the car. We sat in the car for like 20 minutes, or probably longer than that. We're sitting there. He's got the AC blasting. This is the middle of winter in Florida, so it's pretty cold out. Well, I have no t-shirt on, just a very skinny loose hoodie, sweatpants, no shoes, no socks at this point because he took my slides. I then ask him, what's gonna happen to my car? Are you gonna leave it here? Because now I'm thinking, are you gonna impound my car? Because that's just, I'm gonna have to pay for this ticket. Now I have to pay for you to unimpound my car and blah, 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 blah. He also doesn't tell me if he's giving me a ticket or anything. Whatever. And he just goes, no, I'm towing it. And I was like, okay. That's pretty much like exactly what I said. I was like, okay. Doesn't, you know, explain anything that's going on to me yet. Just tells me that he's towing it. That's all I got. Oh, I'm dragging me! God, I can't fucking focus. Look, an airplane. I'm listening to Fetty Wap right now. One time, and I got the soda. So, we sat in the car for a mad minute. He's just sitting on his car on his thing. AC's blasting. I'm freezing my nuts off. I do finally say, is there any chance you could turn the AC down? And he goes, oh yeah, my God. And he like, that was like the nicest thing he did for me the whole time, was turn the AC down after I asked him. And then we finally start moving. This guy drives like a maniac. Like, he's either full throttle or he's on the brakes. No fucking in between. It is crazy. And he starts driving me to, if you know anything about Tampa police system, he ties me to like Oracle Oriental. That's what it's called. Oriental Jail. It's like kind of near Plant City, right? He drives me that way, and so we're on I-4, and we've been driving for like a good 30 minutes because traffic, whatever. We drove down 275 on I-4, and at this point, I'm like, he talked about the ticket being from Orange County, which is Orlando. And I was like, are you driving me to Orlando right now? Like, that's fucking insane. But I didn't ask. Eventually we exit, so now that my brain isn't just thinking about I'm being driven to Orlando right now, I asked him again. I was like, how does this work? What's happening? What's gonna happen? And he just kind of goes and like mumbles and groans and like says some fucking stupid, and I'm like, all right, man, whatever. So from that point forward, I like did not say a word to this guy. I was just dead silent. We pulled to the police station, or the jail, I should say. We sat inside that little parking garage thing for like another 20 minutes. So already I've been arrested for like an hour and a half, and this happened at like 11 o'clock in the morning, or like 10:30, 11:30, somewhere in that time frame. So I've been arrested for like an hour and a half plus already, right? So we're sitting in this parking garage, he's not saying anything, we're just sitting there, he's typing on his laptop, whatever. After 15, 20 minutes goes by, he finally comes, takes me out, he rips me out of the car very aggressively for no fucking reason. Even though he knows why he's arresting me. He knows. He has not told me. He knows exactly what I did wrong. And he has not told me. And yet he's still doing this. And when I tell you why I actually got arrested, after they finally fucking told me, you'll understand. But he pulls me out of the car. We start walking towards the thing. Z706. We start walking towards like where they, let us in and they check me, whatever. As we were walking back, he goes, oh shit. And then he turns around and he yanks me back towards the car. And I did not make a sound, did not say anything. He goes, I forgot your shit. And I was like, oh, okay. The only thing that I had on me was my phone and my necklace. That's it. There's literally nothing else. My phone and my necklace. That's all I had. So we went back and got that, which honestly I'd have been more pissed if we lost my necklace. I've had this necklace for years. We walk into a little glass room. The dude checks me. The other guy who works at the station, they're like talking like they've been best friends for 30 years. None of them saying anything to me, just acting like I don't fucking exist. Like I'm not a human being standing here and I don't know what's going on. It felt absurdly ignorant, but I don't know. Like I don't know how this shit works. So I just kind of stood there, took the weird abuse. He stuck his fingers up into my nutsack like at least 3 times. And then we went back in. He checked me again, stuck his fingers up in my nutsack a couple more times, rubbed his fucking hand up in my ass crack a couple more times. And then they had me like sign a fucking paper. I think it was just that like there's a $30 fee for being admitted or whatever, which is just crazy. It's insane, but whatever. So I signed the paper, and then the guy takes me into this other little room like that's actually like closed off, and they give me the orange jumpsuit and they tell me to change, and I'm like okay, and then I take my hoodie off, I had no t-shirt, my sweatpants off. I was wearing underwear, and I go to put the pants on, and he goes, nope, boxers too. And I'm like, oh, okay. Which, I mean, like, honestly, I kind of just thought that shit was in the movies, or if you're just going to jail. I was like, I didn't actually, I was have to get naked in front of this guy, but, rip my boxers off. He just kind of stood there, like arms crossed, one leg kicked out type thing, just staring at me. So I changed into the orange jumpsuit. I walked back out, and they're like, all right, take a seat there, wait for your name to be called. And there was one other person in this area that I was at. So and then I sat there for like an hour before they called my name, and I'm like, there's no one fucking here. Why is this taking so long? They do that. I don't remember what was first. It was kind of, I think it was just the questions of like, who I am type thing. And then oh, there's a bunch of guys behind me right now. What the hell? That's crazy, dude. Oh, ZX10. Oh, I want one of those so fucking bad, dude. ZX6, tiny little girl on a ZX6. Who else is here? Another girl on a ZX6. Is there anyone else? What the hell's going on, dude? I'm trying to tell a story right now. Why is there fucking cool shit happening? Oh, and we're crossing the bridge now. God, I want a ZX10 like that dude in the front. Scott. So bad. Yo, this is sick. Okay, well, while this is happening, where was I? Oh, they finally asked me these questions. Then they moved me to another little section to see. There was like one guy there, but now I'm in the area where there's, there's 75 dudes. And I hate to be this guy, but maybe 2 of them were white. That's all I'll say. Oh, and those guys were like old, crackhead, like tweaking and shaking and shit. I do possessions or something like that, and they're like, is this what you had? And then I signed the paper saying that this is all I had. They like seal it and they put it in the bag, a little big ass brown bag, and they leave it there. And then later, now I'm in the next area. I wait for medical. I sat there for a while. Oh, and the guy at the very beginning told me, he was like, you'll get a phone call in like, once you've done all these, then you'll get your phone call. And I'm like, okay, how long is that gonna take? And he's like, it might be could be 30 minutes, could be, 6 hours. And I'm like, well, that's all fucking incredible. I went to the phone, and the only phone number I have memorized is my mom. So I call her, she doesn't answer. I call her again, she doesn't answer. I call her again, she doesn't answer. I call her again, she doesn't answer. I think I called her 5 or 6 times before she finally answered. And it's like 7 o'clock, or like 6, 7. My bad. It's something like that at night. She answers. She's obviously a little upset, but she's also kind of just worried and wants to obviously. So, and I've never done this. I don't know what to do. I tell her what's going on. I tell her what happened. At this point, I still don't know why I got arrested. So I'm like, I don't know why I'm here. No one's told me anything. They said I got a warrant. I'm in jail now. So her and her husband called the jail, whatever, they figure some stuff out. I then go, after that, and obviously I don't have my phone, so I can't like text her and keep updated. I then go to medical, and I tell the girl at medical she was the most helpful person that did anything here. She was actually really nice, and she was like, I can tell, you know, you're not supposed to be here. Look around, you don't fit in, blah, 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 you know. She's like super nice. And then I'm like, yeah, I actually have no idea why I'm here. And she's like, no one's told you anything? I'm like, no. Like, I've asked, and people just groan and mumble and just ignore my questions. They just don't answer me. She tells me to go to, you know, some other place, administration, I think maybe is what it was called. So I'm like, okay. I go to administration, and at administration, oh look, this guy caught up on R6. Oh, that's another girl. At administration, God, I'm so distracted. This is crazy. I'm so lost right now. I go to administration, and they're like telling me, she like looks my shit up, and she said that there was, this is when they finally tell me what happened here. She tells me, you missed a court case in Orange County. And I'm like, really? That's why I'm here? Because I missed a court case. So I'm like, that's awesome. So I go back to the phone, because they tell me I have, you know, 2 phone calls. And I call my mom. I tell her what's happening, and she's like, yep, we found that out too. And then they, you know, they tell me how much my bail is, which it was $1,000. And my stepdad, he knows some stuff about some stuff, so he kind of knows how this works. And they're like, you can bail out, and then it's only $100, but you don't get the money back, blah blah blah. Or you can bond him out, and you don't get $100, and you gotta pay court fees. Or you can bail me out instead of bond me out, but you pay the $1,000 up front, and then once court's over, you get the money back minus court fees. So say the court fees is $200, they would give me $800 back. And now it's like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, somewhere in that time. Mind you, I got arrested at 11, so I've been here for a while. My mom comes, she lives probably 45-30 minutes from there, so she comes to the place to bail me out. She comes, and at about 7:30, and at this time they're talking about a shift change. So at the shift change, they kind of make us all stand up and move, and then the people who are working, you know, like the attendants, I guess, the people working at the jail, they all leave, and then new people come in. But my mom shows up at that exact time. She walks in, and she's like, she wants to bail me out, and they tell her they're doing a shift change right now. You have to wait and come back, you know, half an hour. So she's like, awesome. Oh, and they tell her it has to be cash, which is crazy. We live in the big 2025, and you want cash? $1,000 cash at a government facility? Like, what are we talking about here? So she goes to a bank, because she has to come back anyway. So she goes to the bank and gets $1,000 cash, comes back. By this time, the shift change is over. She shows up, and there's a line of people, so she has to wait another like 30 minutes before she can even get to the staff to pay the bail. She pays the bail at around, what was it, 8 o'clock, 8:39, something, 8:39, somewhere like that, 8 o'clock, I don't know, something like that. And they tell her at that time it's going to be another 6 to 12 hours before they let me out. And she was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? I guess maybe I got 3 phone calls. Maybe it was 3. I don't know. But I know I called her back again. I sat there for a long time, and I kept looking up at the clock. Okay, and it was freezing in this room, and I didn't have shoes on. No one had shoes on. And we were all cold. Everyone was trying to like sleep. There was a bunch of people in there. It was cold, and time was passing by slow as shit. I kept looking at the clock, and it had like, you know, like several hours went by, and she, you know, she was like, I'm coming right now to bail you out. And I was like, well, I calculated my head. I was like, well, maybe 30, 45 minutes. Maybe take this long. I was like, maybe 2.5, 3 max before they tell me I can leave. And they've called a couple people out. Or I waited until they called somebody else out first, and then I was like, okay, something's not right. And then I sat there for a while again, like another hour after they called somebody. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go call her. So I went and called my mom again, and she's like, yeah, like, I'm home. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, they told me 6 to 12 hours. And I was like, so what the fuck are you talking about? 6 to 12? I have to sit here for another 6 to 12 hours because I got arrested for not going to court? That's some bullshit. But anyways, I sat there for another 6 to 12 hours. So yeah, they would randomly call somebody else out. They called multiple people that got there way later than me out, which maybe it was like bail, they bonded themselves out because the bail bonds places are right across the street from the jail. Finally, I think we're getting to this point. Maybe I missed something, I don't know. But finally, after it was 3:30 in the morning, or maybe it was like 3 o'clock. I don't know. I could probably look at the times and tell you what time I finally got let out. But I think it was like 3:30 in the morning. They called me in to let me out. They called me in with two other guys. A younger kid that got there way after me again, and an older black gentleman who was actually pretty nice. I talked to him like once. They pulled us into a little side room where we get our possessions back. That's the word. And we changed back into our civilian clothing, which there's like 4 people in this room now. There's the person who is giving us the possessions back, the officer that brought us back there, and then the other 2 inmates that I was with. And they just gave us the bag with our clothes and just had us change in that room. So we all got naked in front of each other. It was a nice bonding experience, honestly. Then they take us into this other little room, this time the room with like 2 benches or whatever. And there's a guy in a window, and he is pissed. And he's like yelling at us like it's our fault. And then I actually like calmed him down, and I was like, hey man, because he's like, man, he's like, oh, you're here for a long fucking time, you better get comfortable. And he's like, you guys were supposed to be here like 3 hours ago. I've been waiting for you. And then I finally just gave up and closed your guys' files. And I was saying, he's like, now I gotta redo all this bullshit again. He's like fucking pissed. And I'm like, that sounds horrible, dude. I mean, it's ridiculous that they got in here by yourself. And he's like, yeah, man, like they acting like this is a one-man job. And I was like, I mean, it doesn't seem like, I was like agreeing with him to calm him down. And he calms down. And then he finally is like, yeah, you guys were supposed to be in here way long ago, and I guess they just didn't want to bring you in. And I'm like, yeah, I would have loved to have been out 3 hours earlier than now. But then he turned out to be okay. He was just, upset because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. He's got a lot of bullshit to deal with. Oh, right. Okay, so he's calling each individual person's name. He's making us sign some papers. Blah, 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 blah. This is your release form type shit, whatever that means. Alright, so he then calls me up. I'm like 3rd or 4th to last. There was other people in that room when we pulled up too. Like 2 or 3 other people. So I finally signed the paper. He opens the door, lets me out. I walk down this long ass hallway, and then I'm in like the lobby, and I walk out, and I'm finally out. And it is midnight. I'm in a very sketchy part of town. Sorry, it's not midnight. It's actually 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometime like that. So I rip open the little seal. I put my necklace on. That's the first thing I did, was I put my necklace back on. So like, I don't want to fucking lose this. And then I grab my phone and I call my mom. And I also remember thinking, I was like, man, I really hope my phone's not fucking dead, because if it is, I'm screwed. So I call my mom, and she's like, okay, just hang tight. I'll be there in like 20 minutes, because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. There's no one on the road. She'll be there rather quickly. Then I'm like, I'm absurdly thirsty, because they gave us like one of those tiny little cartons of apple juice that you get at like high school, and then it was like a sandwich, but it was 2 slices of bread with like 1 thin strip of like chicken breast. That's it. That's all it was. It didn't fit up the whole bread. I was like, oh, whatever. It was fine. It was something to eat. I ate it. I drank the apple juice. Oh, the apple juice were frozen too, so I didn't sit there and let them fucking melt for like a good 25 minutes before I could actually eat it or drink it. God, these roads suck. Yeah, so I'm like, man, I'm really fucking thirsty. I look at my phone. There's a Circle K right around the corner, or a 7-Eleven right around the corner. I'm gonna go hit up this 7-Eleven. Give me a Daki Wepo. I am walking towards the 7-Eleven, and I'm like, man, I really need to talk to somebody. So I call my best friend who lives in Arizona. I call him, and I just start, we're just talking. So I was like, I just need to talk to somebody. So I start talking, and we're talking. And then I'm like, my mom's not close. So I look at her location, and she's like at the red light that I'm about to walk into at the 7-Eleven. Wow, this is incredible, dude. Where the fuck am I right now? I check my mom's location. She's like passing that light, and I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, Chase, I gotta go. And I hang up a chance, and I call my mom, and she drives past me. And I'm like, you just passed me. And she's like, what? And then I tell her that I went to the store to get a drink, blah, 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 because I was mad thirsty. She turns around, she picked me up, and that was pretty much the end of that. I talked to my mom a little bit. She drives me home, we talk. Another thing. This is actually, so when I told you that my mom went home, I was wrong. She did not go home, I forgot. The aquarium, I forgot. I want to go to the aquarium. Oh my God! What was I talking about? Oh, so I left my keys to my car in my car when he impounded it. My keys to my house were also on that thing, or my apartment rather. So, holy shit, dude, these brakes suck. Am I in traffic right now? So, I don't have the keys to Empire, but luckily, my sister, who also lives in Tampa, has my spare. Anyways, my mom, after my mom bailed me out, she didn't go home. She went to my sister's house, got the spare key, and then went to my apartment and hung out with my dog and my cat. So, she takes me home. We're talking, blah, 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 blah. We talk about next steps. I gotta go get my car. They tell me where the impound is. It's a Sunday now, so I have, it's 4 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. I get home, and she's like, you gotta call all these people, you gotta do all this, and I'm like, dude, I gotta go to bed. I'm like, I'm sorry, bro, but I'm stressed the fuck out. I gotta go slumpy-wumpy right now, is what I'm gonna do. And I'm all stressed out, because I'm like, I really hope she doesn't get mad at me for like sleeping in, even though it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna wake up at like 12. It was a very big thing that because I had a suspended license, and I didn't have my motorcycle license yet, I didn't have a way to get to work on Monday. So I was supposed to call a coworker and have them take me to work. But I work construction, so, I work out in the middle of fucking nowhere. At that point I did. And no one lives near each other. Look at these dorky out kids. Whoa, that guy's stopping in the middle of the road. What the freaky weaky? What was I talking about? Yeah, so I rode my bike to work. Not a smart idea. Got home. My mom came and picked me up from my house to then take us to the impound lot. The impound lot was like in a neighborhood. It was just some like house at the end of a street with a big backyard. The cop was also supposed to give me my registration back, but he never did. So when I got to the place, they were like, I need your registration to give you your car back. And I was like, I don't have it. The cop never gave it to me. And then I guess maybe they give it to, oh shit, no outlet, fuck. I don't know where I am, guys. I did eventually get my car back after like an hour of haggle with those people, but the registration was still expired on it, because remember, that was the ticket that I got. So like the next day I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to the DMV the next day, and I'm gonna get my registration renewed, and I'm going to get my motorcycle license out of it, because that's all that was really the issue, is why I got arrested. So I went and did that. Motorcycle license was not on my thing, so I didn't do it. So this is still kind of up in the air as to why that happened, right? But what I think happened is my license was suspended for much longer, or not much longer, but it was suspended during the time of me doing my motor, or like the test or whatever, so they couldn't add it to the system because my license was suspended. So they just didn't add it to the system. The beach is mad empty. It's super nice out here. Back to my story. Where was I? Oh, I remember now. Okay, So I think that my license was suspended, so they didn't put the thing on my system, blah, 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 blah. So I had to call like a bunch of times. At this point, I have a lawyer. It was such a hassle to get in contact with the motorcycle place that I did. It was absurdly annoying to get my motorcycle endorsement shit figured out, but I finally did, like literally 2 weeks ago. So now we're up to present time. This has been, well, I guess only about a little over a month, yeah. I got my motorcycle endorsement figured out. I went to the DMV, I got it added. So now I have a motorcycle endorsement. I got a new non-suspended license. Now we're fully legal, boys. I have a motorcycle endorsement. I have a non-suspended license. My registration's all paid. I don't have a warrant that I fucking know of, because I didn't know about the first one, so why would I know about the second one? I'm legal now. And my court cases just actually finished up getting handled, so now I'm chilling. The ones in Tampa, thanks to Paul and Jessica, totally dropped. There's nothing for those. Those are totally clean. We're good on that front. The ones in Orlando, however, remember I told you there was 3. There was the speeding one, which was bullshit. There was the license one, which was not bullshit, but still rather stupid. The bent plate. It was like improper display of tag and improper writing, which is insane, but whatever. And then the license, which the license was the only actually one that was like a real problem, right? I didn't do a damn thing. Ben, the goat that he is, he got the ticket for speeding, or no, he got the ticket for the license completely dropped, which is fucking incredible. That was like my biggest worry, because I think that was the criminal charge. One of them was a criminal charge. He got the really expensive one, which that one might also have been the criminal one. I don't know. One of them was a criminal one, but he got those 2 dropped. The speeding one, the cop, because I had recently, like within the last year, got a speeding ticket in my car. The cop was like, or the judge was like, I'm not going to just drop this one. He's got to at least do something to show that he's, not going to speed again. So he removed all the points and whatever, but it's still, he got those tickets dropped. The judge didn't want to drop the speeding ticket because of the prior speeding ticket, yada, 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 yada. I had to take a 4-hour course. That court case was 2 days ago. That was yesterday. That was Friday. Today's Saturday. So I got to take this course either today or tomorrow. It's literally a 4-hour course. That's awesome. Ben did say that if I wanted to, we could fight that, because, like I said, I was not speeding. But at the same time, I've already gotten absurdly lucky with how this has turned out. Absurdly unlucky, but also absurdly lucky. Because everything else got dropped. So I'm okay. I don't want to fight that. I'm just gonna take the L on that one, and we're gonna do the 4-hour course. It's gonna be on my record, but I'm not gonna have points on my record. None of the other shit's on my record though. So we're clean. We're doing good. We're doing good. Okay, and now I have a motorcycle endorsement. We're registered. We're fucking legal, boys, and we're riding, and that's all that really matters, right? It is just what is down there? That looks cool. Can I drive down there? Brother! Yeah, that's the story. I'm pretty sure I kind of covered everything. I got arrested for pretty stupid shit. But it's handled now, and I'm okay, and we're good. I don't really know what the moral of the story is. No, I do know. The moral of the story is deal with your shit, right? If you have a ticket, or you've been pulled over, or fucking anything, make sure you register your car, because this happened in December. It had been like 6 months that I was driving around with an unregistered car because I just fucking forgot. Oh my god, this guy's got a sidecar. That's the coolest thing ever. With a dog in it!